So, gamers, let's talk about demos, shall we? But before we look at the modern state of things, let's take a brief walk through history. I present to you the humble demo disc. This piece of lost technology used to be available in combo packages with gaming magazines. Wait, am I gonna have to explain what a gaming magazine is? Okay, imagine a regular magazine, if they still have those these days, except it's filled with IGN, GameStop or Polygon articles and has ads for Old Spice and below average games. Anyway, it used to be that you could only play demos with a disc much like this one. And you'll notice something in particular about these specimens. Firstly, I'm so old. Secondly, each of these games are published by a AAA company, or in the case of one of these, a number of ex-Blizzard devs trying to make even better games. I wonder how that turned out for them. Hey, at least they got out of Blizzard before shit hit the fan. Smaller games were also featured, but this was alongside highly anticipated titles and MMOs, so not actually an equal playing field at all. Now, years later, Steam provides what is, mostly, a democratized marketplace, where any publisher or developer can provide a demo for their game. And then there's NextFest. Hundreds of demos, ready for you to play. Even now that NextFest is over, there's still a great list of the 50 most popular demos from the event. Except, that's not really what these are. These are the most played demos during the event. And so it doesn't surprise me to see the sequel for a... Oh god, I'm so old. A 15-year-old MMO like Vindictus at the top of the page. And seeing Vindictus defying fate in that position feels a lot like the old demo discs. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but a game with a large marketing budget, being produced by a prominent multinational game publishing corporation, it isn't incorrect to say that Nexon taking the top spot was inevitable. You could even technically say that they bought the top spot. It is, however, what it is. I'm sure Steam set this list up not simply to give kudos to the best performing demos, but also because of metrics. The best performing demos are, after all, probably the games which will have very high sales numbers once published, and so it behooves them to have those demos front and center. Here's the thing though, if you approach things correctly during this demo season, then there's a chance that at least some of the games you enjoy playing, and maybe even some of your favorites, don't appear on this list. Now, far be it from me to tell you how to play games. More specifically, I don't care how you play games. Games are there to be experienced and enjoyed, and so long as you are doing just that, then nothing else is needed. However, and stay with me here, you could be a better gamer, not through owning more games or even getting better at them, but rather through broadening your understanding of games. Have you ever played a game you didn't expect to like nearly as much as you did? Not a game from your favorite superhero IP, or with a perfect pedigree and marketing to back it up. Not a game that industry experts, who are sometimes just glorified salespeople, tell you that you will like. No, just a game you decided to take a chance on, and as you played it, it made you go, holy shit, this is amazing! For those of you who answered yes, I can almost guarantee that whatever game or games you have played that fit that bill, in the course of playing them, you learned a bit more about yourself. You got to learn more about your tastes and proclivities. You got pushed just outside of your comfort zone, just enough that you got a liking for experiences you never thought you would. And also, you gained insights into the experience of gaming itself that you never would have otherwise. For those of you who answered no, the next few minutes of this video are for you. Now, if given the chance, I'll give any voxel-based game a try. There's just something incredibly appealing about how crunchy the visuals look. But when I booted up Ascent to Zero to give it a spin, I didn't exactly like what I saw. It has a certain aesthetic you'd expect from online gacha games with an anime aesthetic, except without the pretty polish those games offer. And I don't even really like those games. So when I began to play, and I began to understand the underlying gameplay loop, a mixture of strategic planning and skillful execution, where you grind for collectibles, use said collectibles to unlock more resources, and expand the capabilities of not only your character, but also your base, all while the system undermines the idea of mindless grinding itself, since you only have 60-ish seconds to complete each run, and though you can strategically stop time, it has a cooldown, so all your decisions count towards the efficiency of making sure each run lasts as long as possible. If you presented this gameplay loop to me on paper, I would tell you that it sounds dope, but probably can't be executed in a meaningful way. Yet, this game is here to show me how laughably wrong I am. This game shouldn't be as fun as it is, but it somehow awakens the strategy gamer that was born in me when I was 7 years old and played OG StarCraft. Speaking about the awakening of childhood memories, while I do find cute aesthetics to be appealing, it was precisely those aesthetics that made me very unsure of, my card is better than your card. I expected it would tone down on the hard strategy of deck builders in favor of more easygoing gameplay. Let me make it abundantly clear that this game does not do this. MCI BTYC is a roguelike deck builder that, surprisingly, actually feels more like a roguelike deck builder than many others I've played, and benefits from not feeling like a copy-paste of Slay the Spire, a problem that a few deck builders do have. It somehow perfectly encapsulates that feeling of you and your friends taking pieces of paper, stickers, markers, crayons, and other apparatus and making your own cards, and your own card game. Did the rules make sense? Nope. But it was fun to explore and imagine nonetheless. This game takes that idea and somehow actually makes it work. Each sticker you place on a card, altering in both its cost and abilities. Such a deceptively simple idea creates some intense strategy and gameplay loops, all the while nestled in this bright, cute, and hyper-nostalgic package of being a small child crafting cards in the 90s. And the icing on the cake is that at the end of each in-game day, you get to infinitely edit all the cards in your deck, allowing you to vastly change strategies and techniques, or obscenely power up certain cards in a straightforward way. To be honest, I would gladly play a card game like this in real life. I tend to like puzzle platformer games that have a very kinetic feel to them, and bonus points if there's elements to the game which defy normal physics, probably because Portal is among my favorite games. And that probably explains why Orbis feels like such a satisfying game to me. There is no obvious story, and you play the role of a sentient orb that controls and manipulates other orbs, hops between different orb bodies, and does all sorts of neat tricks, like freezing time and solving logic puzzles. This is definitely one of those games that survives on vibes, and these particular digital industrial vibes are immaculate. And this is by no means the full list of games I tried out during Next Fest. My personal top 10 list, in no particular order, is currently going by as you're watching this video. At least one of them is one of the games in Steam's official top 50 list. There's nothing wrong with that list. I'm even using it to check out a few games I hadn't gotten to and was unaware of. But if you only use that list, then you're doing yourself a bit of a disservice. There's still a bunch of demos available on Steam, from this year's Next Fest, from other showcases, or from devs that just want to demo their games. And they're not too hard to find. You might find a game you would have otherwise overlooked, or a game that can teach you new things about the aesthetics of game design, or games you would love, but need a bit more love themselves. And all of this will cost you no more than the click of a button. Have fun! Though this is just a journal entry, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to support further entries, you can like, subscribe and comment, or you can help me improve the hardware I use via Patreon. Happy exploring out there!